And welcome in again, guys. Ultimate Soccer here, 2023 Women's World Cup, and we're talking group phase. Nigeria taking on Canada. Fantastic game. 0-0 doesn't always describe what happens, but I'll tell you what happened. And we did have drama in this game, and we had something of a first in the 2023 World Cup. We'll get to that one as well. But welcome in. Glad to see you back again. And remember, like, subscribe, and like, and hit that notification button anytime. Anytime would be like now. That would be fantastic. Go on, do it, please. Bang, hit that button. Well done. That's nice. Thank you very much. Anyway, the game. 0-0 doesn't describe it. I'm going to describe it. Nigeria, 40 in the world, taking on Canada, 7 in the world. The Super Falcons, I tell you what, they played a super game. And the Maple Leaf, they didn't play a bad game. It was a 50-50 by the end of this, but you got to say the first 15 minutes, Canada stormed out and literally went to get that early goal, but it didn't come through. And I'll tell you why. A few reasons. Great tackles, great defensive coverage, super goalkeeping by Chiamaka Unadozie in goal. Absolutely top draw. Absolutely. She was like standing on her head, to give it a hockey term, but she was standing on her head. Absolutely fantastic. Now, for the first 15, it's one-way traffic. It's Canada. You just heard it. But about the 30-minute stage, it's turned into a battle of attrition, and no one's bossing it. And slowly but surely, Nigeria is getting into it. And the half ends, I'll tell you what, I don't know how, but the half ends 0-0. And you would have thought, we would have had a goal. And without that great goalkeeping, it would have been a goal. And Canada, I would say, would have been a goal up to the good at halftime. But it's 0-0 at halftime. Canada were edging it, but Nigeria, not outclassed, not outplayed, and only needed one chance. They could probably pull a shocker. We get into the second half. Second half, the drama starts, and the drama's all in the second half. And within 2 minutes, VAR comes into question. And why? Well, simply number 47, Nigeria, Francisca Ortega, takes out Christine Sinclair in the box. Referee's like, it's a penalty. VAR goes, come and check. She goes, checks, comes back, does the old, and it's a penalty. And she obviously tells the crowd what's going on as well. Yeah, remember that. So they are telling people what's going on. Anyway, penalty. And I tell you what, you're thinking at the time, most Canadian fans, I tell you, most Canadians, when they realize they're getting a penalty, they're thinking, I think Christine Sinclair's going to smash this one in the back of the net. But reality says, didn't go that way, not even close that way. And you're thinking, whoops, but you got to say, what a fantastic save by the goalkeeper for Nigeria. Remember this name, Chiamaka Unadozie. I tell you what, that save, it wasn't the greatest shot. It wasn't a bad shot by Sinclair. And if you see where the ball's positioned in the middle of the net, you can see it's halfway between middle and the post per se. Well, that's absolute gravy for a goalkeeper. And Chiamaka Unadozie saves it and makes it look real easy when absolutely it wasn't easy at all. And remember this, Chiamaka had to guess the right way too, yeah? She could have gone the other way, or she could have stood still and thought that Sinclair was coming down the middle, but she guessed right. And I tell you what, she's done her homework, in my opinion, and she did guess it right, but a fantastic save. And literally, I don't think she'll ever forget that, and Chiamaka is definitely a national hero. And moving on to the rest of the game in the second half, we only had really one other major issue. We'll get to that in a minute, but the rest of the second half was evenly split, in my opinion. Both teams were going for it. Both teams were trying to get that goal. Both teams were showing a lot of bravery, a hell of a lot of bravery. But at the end of the day, I got to say, Nigeria have won a newfound respect from me personally in this game for the endeavor, the commitment, and the absolute teamwork that they brought. It was absolutely sensational from a team that's ranked 40 in the world, taking on a top 10, ranked 7 in the world, Canada. You would have expected it to be a 2-1 game in favor of Canada, maybe? Well, it wasn't to be. And then you got to say, right to the end of play, things are getting a little bit hairy, but no one's going to get that goal, especially after blowing the penalty, or you could say a fantastic save, but no one's getting that goal all the way. And right at the end of the day, right at the end, Ajibola Abiodun gets, boom, the red card. She gets a straight red card from the referee. And why? I tell you what, it was the correct decision to give that red card. I tell you now, it was absolutely the correct decision. It was a leg-breaking challenge, and if you see it online anytime, or you see it in the replays, I tell you now, you'll be shocked at that. I tell you what, it was a tackle that you don't want to see, and it wasn't deliberate. It was just mistimed. So unluckily, Nigeria becomes the first team to get a red card at this 2023 World Cup, and it was game number 3. Remember that? How many more red cards are we going to see? Do you think that's the only one? Average tournaments, they average between 4 and 8 possibly. Well, that's number 1. How many more are coming? Anyway, at the end of the day, got to say, there's one more thing we have to say, and really have to say loud and proud, is that where it comes to the game itself, it finishes 0-0, and the red card is the last drama we had. But the major star of the game, I'm going to reveal in a second, was absolutely Chiamaka Unadozie on the day, goalkeeper for Nigeria. She was absolutely amazing. The penalty save, the flawless handling through the game. She generaled the box for Nigeria. She is absolutely the woman of the game. And I tell you this, putting a ball past her today looked impossible because she made it impossible. She owned it big time and stopped Canada getting that goal. And normally, you'd have expected someone to get the woman of the match that maybe scored that goal. This is how big that performance was by Chiamaka Unadozie. She showed world-class goalkeeping, and she owned every minute of the game, and whatever came in was cleanly handled, and she absolutely amazed me at times with some of the clean handling as well. It was absolutely second to none. Woman of the match, Chiamaka Unadozie, Nigeria. Falcon, super performance, super woman of the match. Let's take a look at something coming out. The next game coming up for Canada is against Ireland. That's up in a couple of days. And looking at the stats now, we've got a few stats to tell you before we get out of here. Stats on the day. Nigeria, 11 shots, 1 on target, 32% possession, 213 passes. That's not bad. 54% accuracy, 16 fouls, 1 yellow card, 1 red card. You know about that. 1 offside and 6 corners. Canada, 16 shots, 3 on target, 68 possession, so it was one way, 450 passes, 80% possession, 6 fouls, 2 yellow cards, 1 offside, and 7 corners. It was a great game, guys. Get ready for the next one. I tell you what, get ready for the next game. And the next game for Canada is up against Ireland. If Canada wins that game, it quite possibly could send Ireland home after 2 games. The third game would be then just for fun. And ironically, it might just be fun where they actually pick up points. Never mind. Next game is Ireland and Canada for the Canadians. And I tell you what, Canada, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. But as for this one, nothing gained, nothing lost. I think that Nigeria will be happier with the draw than Canada should be, because 40 in the world doesn't normally make 7 in the world look equal. And that's what Nigeria did in this game. They started under pressure, under the storm. They rode through it. They came through it. They started to dominate up front as well, like Canada did. They shared the spoils, 0-0, and even saving a penalty with the woman of the match. That's what I see. What do you see? Down below, guys, and tell me if you're enjoying this Women's World Cup. I know I am. I hope you are too, and I hope you're enjoying the coverage as well. And we got lots more coming. And like I said earlier, Wrexham fans, we are doing League 2 all the way to the end, plus the cup games, because we've had a few of the family at Ultimate Soccer say, Steve, are you doing Wrexham again this year? Yes, we are. Move to the next World Cup game. That's the topic of the day. And I've got to tell you, New Zealand win their first game in 16 games now. 15 was 12 losses, 3 draws, 5 World Cups. Now World Cup number 6, game 1, game 16. They've got to win. That's absolutely fantastic for them. I tell you, keep it here, keep it clear, and let's enjoy this World Cup all the way. And I can't wait to get to the quarterfinals. Remember, that's where it begins for me, because that's when you've got the cream of the crop, or a fairy tale team, a team that's upset them right through the tournament, like possibly Nigeria upset Canada today by not losing. Guys, keep it here, keep it clear, enjoy it. Cheers.